All right, we're going to start. In case you have any books or blocks at home just for balance, you might not necessarily need them, but just in case, something for balance. We start standing today. We all got our 2 blocks. And today's going to be quite a flowy class for you to explore space around you, space with your body. So not taking things too seriously, just enjoying the flow, the movements, and there's no right or wrong. You can add on any spice, as much spice as you want, or just cruise along through the class today. So take a moment here to find a comfortable distance between your feet. Spreading the toes out into the mat. You might even choose to close your eyes as you settle. And I invite you here to just roll to the outer edge of your feet, to the inner edge of your feet. And maybe even shifting the weight forward and back towards the balls of the feet and then back into the heels. Until you find that balance point where the weight is evenly distributed. Where you allow your toes to sit light on top of the mat. Starting to activate the arches of your feet. And once you found that balance point, feel how the energy runs along the back of the legs. That slight lift from the chest out of the hips, up into the crown of the head. Standing tall here. Maybe allowing your shoulders to relax a touch. Your face to soften. Giving space to your breath. So taking a few moments here for yourself to feel your breath. It might be in your chest, maybe throat, maybe belly. You might even hear sound of your breath. And this is basically what we're going to do for this next hour. Breathing in, breathing out with awareness. Using our breath as guidance as we move into all these shapes and poses. Listening to your breath. And as I said, it's a flowy class, so you choose how much you want to take away and how much you want to leave behind. You don't have to do it all. Before we get started here, can you create a soft bend in the knees? Draw your tailbone under. And on an inhale, reach the arms into the sky. Let the chest open up. Exhale to release the arms, to drop the shoulders out of the ears. 2 more just like this. Inhale, press evenly into your feet. Reach the arms up. Exhale to release, maybe with a sigh. Last one here. Inhale, this time blink the eyes open, gaze towards your fingertips. And then gentle forward fold. Exhale, releasing all the way down. And spending a few moments here to maybe shift the weight a bit from side to side. Starting to wake up the hips ever so slightly. You might even take a ragdoll kind of movement, grabbing opposite elbow, swaying the body side to side, forward and back. And just taking note here of your body today. Becoming aware of any sensations. Feeling the breath in this pose, especially into the back of the heart, the back of the lungs. And maybe even allowing the mouth to stay open, releasing any tension from the face, the jaw, the throat. And on your next exhale, can you release the arms, drop the crown off the head even further down towards it. Soft bend in the knee. Inhale, come all the way up, nice and slow. Reaching the arms out, still breathing here, lift up all the way. Exhale to fold from the hips. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. Inhale to unfold, come all the way into standing, arms reach into the sky, maybe a mini back bend. Exhale to fold from the hips. Take one more here in your own rhythm, just following your breath, connecting your breath to your movement. And next time, as you come into your forward fold, we're going to pause here for a halfway lift. So drawing the chest forward, you might even choose to bring the hands onto your shins for a bit of support with this first one. Plugging down into the feet, belly button lifts towards the spine. Can you slide your shoulder blades back and down, giving your neck space? And send your breath here right into your chest, the lungs, filling yourself up. Exhale, pushing into both feet, glutes engaged. Give yourself one more big one here. Exhale to release. Chin towards the chest, come all the way up. We're going to add this together. Arms reach into the sky. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, hands might be on the floor, maybe on your legs. Exhale to release. One more just like that. Inhale, arms reach up, maybe a mini back bend, opening the heart. Exhale to come all the way down. Halfway lift here, your variation. In an exhale, plant your hands, find an all fours position, setting the knees underneath your hips. Oh, click, click, click. Here we go, waking up the body. So take a bit of time here to maybe shift them into the hips, the shoulders. Using this as an opportunity to bring the whole body into your practice, from the smaller joints to the bigger joints. So maybe letting the fingers, the toes spread out a little bit, giving yourself space. And whatever movement you take in this position, can you slow it down, following your breath, feeling your breath? And then wherever you are, we meet in a stable all fours position, lifting the weight out of the wrist joints so the heart lifts up into the shoulder blades, belly button zips in. Then tucking the toes under from your core strength, can you push the hips into the sky, downward facing dog. And you might be moving even more here, downward dog, waking up the body even more. Maybe rolling over the toes, waking up all these smaller joints. Maybe giving the head a gentle shake. And once you found a bit more balance in your downward dog, settling into stillness here. Rooting down through your hands, your feet, starting to bring a bit of activation, a bit of strength into the pose. And shifting the hips into the space behind you, give your back body a bit of a stretch, finding your breath here. And then slowly with your exhale, walk or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale to release. Chin towards the chest, come all the way up, arms reach into the sky. We're going to keep adding on. Exhale, fall all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. All fours position, plant your hands, your knees. This time we're going to come into our cat and cow from here. So on an inhale, lift your tailbone, arching through the spine. Exhale, pushing the floor away. Lift your belly to around the back. And explore these two poses here for 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale to open up. Exhale to curl yourself in. Can make this as big of a movement as it feels good for your body. You might even add on any other little variation here. And again, just breathing in and out, following your breath. And next time you come into your cow pose, heart draws through the chest, tucking the toes under. And then from the belly, downward facing dog, push the hips into the sky. Finding balance here for your feet, your hands. Shoulder blades draw to the side. So you keep that space around your neck. This time from downward facing dog, we're going to get a little bit more dynamic from here. On an inhale, shift the weight forward, high plank, shoulders on top of the hand. Exhale from the belly, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Moving with this, inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. 2 more rounds here. Inhale, roll forward, push your fingers down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, unfolding, rolling forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing here, gaze to the front of the mat on an inhale. And exhale, walk, step or jump towards your hands. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to release. Chin towards the chest, come all the way up. You choose if you go for a back bend here. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, straight into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shift the weight forward, high plank, pausing here. Just feeling the energy in the back of the shoulders. You might even hug the thighs in towards the midline. You might even drop onto the knees for a bit of extra support. Take another breath here, gazes to the front of the mat. And then exhale, lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Setting up for a cobra here, untucking the toes. Hands sit behind the shoulder. And on an inhale, lift your chest away, sliding the shoulders back and down. Pausing here with your exhale. Really waking up the back body, slight squeeze between the shoulder blades. Last breath here. Exhale to release. And then take 2 more cobras here. Inhale to lift, opening the heart towards the sky. Exhale to release. Last one here. Inhale, elbows draw in towards the body so the shoulders slide back and down. Exhale to release. Downward facing dog, setting the feet, the hands. We have quite a few downward dogs today. At any stage, if it doesn't feel accessible to you, you can drop onto the knees for an all fours. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step or jump towards your hands. Halfway lift your inhale, big breath into the chest. Exhale to release. Come all the way up, arms reach out into the sky. Hands to the heart, exhale. And just pausing here for a moment, finding that balance between your feet, the softness around your shoulders, your face. You've got all these pieces now ready for our sun salutation. And again, you choose what you want to take away and what you might want to leave out, listening to your body. Inhale, arms reach into the sky, full body stretch. Exhale to fold from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Downward dog, keep the breath flowing. Inhale, high plank or tabletop. Exhale, chaturanga or onto your belly. Find your cobra or upward dog on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Maybe exploring a wider stance with your hands and feet for a moment. Giving space to the shoulders, to the hips. And then inhale, gaze forward, get ready. Exhale, walk, step or float lightly towards your hands. Halfway lift, you lengthen. Exhale to release. Come all the way up. We're going to do 2 more rounds here, keeping that breath flowing. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe straight into high plank to low plank or downward dog and then high plank, you choose. Finding your rhythm here. We meet in downward facing dog. Moving with awareness, feeling the breath in each transition. Spreading the fingers, the toes. And then inhale, gaze forward, get ready. Exhale, walk, step or jump towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Come all the way up. One more round here on your own. You know the steps, you know the transitions. We meet in downward facing dog. And remember, you don't have to do it all. You can simply step into down dog and wait there. Or you might take that full sun salutation in your own pace. Breathing through. Full breath here. Open the mouth, exhaling out. And then from here, gaze forward to the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, walk, step or jump towards your head. Halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale to release. Come all the way up, arms reach into the sky. Hands to the heart, exhale. One breath here. One breath out. Arms reach up. Inhale, palms face one another, and then exhale, chair pose. Draw your tailbone under, belly draws in. Plugging down into your feet without cranking up the toes. So toes are light, arches of the feet are active. Shoulders draw away from one another. So pinky fingers turn in. Last breath here. Exhale, come forward and down. Halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale to release. If you've been practicing crow pose, you can add it in here for a couple of breaths. Otherwise, we meet in downward facing dog. You might step back. You might take a Vinyasa flow. So from crow pose, feel free to jump, step back, take high plank to low plank. And again, you don't have to do it all if you're not familiar with crow pose. Don't worry. We meet in downward facing dog, right leg up towards the sky for a three-legged dog. And as you reach that leg up, can you keep both hands evenly pressing down? Can you keep the belly strong here and the hips supported by hugging in the thighs? Last breath here, reach into the right big toe. And then quietly step your foot through for warrior two, dropping the back heel down and coming to stand up to the long edge of the mat. Maybe having a look at your front knee, it doesn't collapse inwards. Finding that center line, so chest is right on top of the hips, arms reach away from one another. Maybe have a look at your back end, see what's happening there if you have that straight line. And then slightly drop the shoulders out of the ears. From here, right forearm onto the right thigh, left arm reaches out in front of you, extended side angle. We try to not collapse into the right elbow, so we're still pushing the chest away from the thigh. Squeezing that left glute a little bit to then reach your left fingers forward into the room. Last breath here. Staying for the exhale. And then inhale, slowly come back for your warrior two. Then straighten your front leg out, right arm up and over into your reverse trikonasana or triangle pose. Plugging down through both feet. And you choose if the gaze is into the right palm of your head, or if you look down for a bit more balance. Last breath here. And then exhale back into warrior two. This is where your blocks might come in handy. You might have them at the front of the mat just in case. We're going to walk the back foot in for half moon pose. So leaning forward here, find your gaze over the right middle finger. And then following your fingers with your gaze as you bring the hand either to a block or floor in front of your foot. Then lifting through the chest. So chest reaches forward, left leg might release into the sky. Focus is here to keep the body open towards the side. Finding that energy running from the crown of the head into the left here, pushing it away from you, squeezing the left glute just enough to stay stable. Last breath here into the chest. And then quietly step back into warrior two. Keeping the knee bent, front arm up and over, reverse the warrior here. And then exhale, we meet in downward facing dog. You might go through a three-legged vinyasa, maybe a normal vinyasa, or simply stepping back into downward facing dog. Full breath here. Full breath out. And other side, left leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Pause here for a moment. Can you even out the hips? So most of you can drop the left hip down so it sits in line with the right. So you work on a bit of strength here, pushing both hands evenly into the mat. Give yourself another breath to reach that leg long. And then exhale, quietly step the foot between your hands, dropping the back heel, warrior two. Arriving here, giving your hips space, your feet time to settle. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Beautiful. Belly draws in, gazes over the front middle finger. And then from here, left forearm onto the left thigh, right arm reaches out. Your version of extended side angle. Trying to keep the side body active, so still lifting away from that thigh, using a bit of your oblique and core strength. You might even feel that right glute hugging in a little bit. Last breath here, keep reaching those fingers forward. Staying for the exhale. And then inhale, slowly back, coming through your warrior two. Then straighten out the front leg, reach the front arm up and over. Reverse the warrior, or Trikonasana. Planting especially at front foot down as an anchor to reach away from. And then last breath here, maybe looking into the palm of your hand. Exhale, warrior two, bending the left knee. Half moon pose, back foot walks in. Just taking at your own pace here, leaning forward with the heart, sliding the left hand down to the floor or block until that right foot comes up. And flexing the back ankle here can help you to stabilize, to activate the inner thigh, the core. So as if you push your foot into a wall behind you, keep that leg nice and active. Beautiful. Last breath here, maybe rolling that right shoulder back into space a little bit. And then landing softly in your warrior two, both feet on the floor. Front knee stays bent, left arm up and over. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, meeting in downward dog. Any variation you want to take to get there. Trying to take it with your breath here rather than rushing through your Vinyasa flow if you'd go there. We meet in downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. And inhale, gaze to the front of the mat. Exhale, walk, step or jump towards your hand. Halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale to release. Bend your knees, chair pose, reaching the arms into the sky. Turning pinky fingers slightly inwards. Belly draws in. Last breath here. And then mountain pose, exhale, stand all the way up. Dropping the shoulders, softening the face. Let your breath settle, coming back into that smooth, steady pace. By now, we've warmed up the body or the major muscles and joints. We're going to take ourselves on a bit of a journey here. So shifting the weight over into the left foot when you're ready, spreading out the toes for a wide support base. And then the right foot comes into tree pose. Tree pose today for you might be on the floor for that extra support. You can always take it up another level. You can always come down a notch. So as you take your tree pose, hugging in that left glute, belly is strong. So we lift the chest out of the hips, standing proud. And you might choose today to simply practice balance, finding that steady breath in your tree pose. Or you might come along for a bit of a journey, reaching the arms up on an inhale. And then exhale, twisting to the right side as the arms reach away from one another. Inhale back into center, keeping our focus. Lots of windy trees. Exhale over to the other side. Awesome work. That's okay. Inhale back into center. Time to reset. Then hands to the heart, pausing here as you bring the right knee in towards the chest. Still hugging in that left glute to stabilize. Still drawing the chest away from the hips. You stand nice and proud. Find a breath here to prepare. And in a bit of a balance pose, leaning forward with the heart, kick the right leg long behind you. If you want to make this a warrior 3, you might reach the arms out in front of you. You can make it an airplane, anything that feels good in your body. Breathing into the back of the heart to stay light. Keeping the face soft. Give yourself one more breath here, floating over your mat. And then stepping back into a lunge position, tucking the toes into the mat. Wow. Any stage of high lunge is a bit too much today, you can drop onto the back knee. So just finding again that comfortable spot for your hips, your pelvis, tailbone draws under. Arms reach into the sky, let the breath and shoulders drop out of the ear. As you inhale here, make yourself long through the side body. Exhale, dropping down into both feet. Inhale, palms might even touch. You might add a mini back bend. Exhale, belly draws in, stay connected here. Give yourself one more. And then exhale, planting the hands, left leg slides back into a 3-legged dog. Your choice if you just step into down dog, maybe that 3-legged Vinyasa Flow, or normal Vinyasa Flow. Choosing your option, finding your breath. Take a moment here. And next, inhale, right leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, quietly step your foot between the hands. Pausing here for a moment, we walk the hands out in front of us, just a touch for standing splits. If the floor is a bit far away, you can take blocks underneath your hands. So shifting the weight forward here, use your belly strength to release the left leg off the floor. It's not so much about how high your leg can go in your standing split. Main focus here is about how long can you draw that leg. Dropping the head down so you have a bit of counterweight, a bit of a release to the neck. Hugging in the thigh still. So yeah, then you use the strength to reach into the left big toe. Last breath here. And an exhale, meeting at the front of the mat in your forward fold, dropping the head, the shoulders. Roll yourself up into standing, arms reach into the sky. Mountain pose, exhale, Tadasana. Take a moment to find balance, your center. And then shifting the weight over into the right foot, spreading the right toes into the mat. Tree pose on the other side. So this side might be different. We're just going to keep that open mind, explore, take any adjustments to stay stable. Still having that belly strength. And again, you might choose to stay here for balance, for stillness, or coming along for that ride. Inhale, arms reach up, belly still draws in. Exhale, twisting over to the left, arms reach away. Inhale, back into center. Exhale, over to the right side. Inhale, back into center, nice and slow. And then hands to the heart, left knee in towards the chest, standing tall, still lifting the chest out of the hips. Take a breath here to prepare. Then leaning forward with the heart, then kicking the left heel long behind you. And you can add on the arms wherever they want to go to, any pose that feels good for you today. Finding that strength in the standing leg to hold you. Finding the breath into the back of the heart to stay light. Last breath here. Maybe you give yourself a smile as you go on your mission here. And then step your foot back, land in your version of a lunge. It might be with the knee down. It might be with the knee lifted. Tailbone draws under so you get that slight release into the left hip flexor. And arms reach up here. Take a moment to make yourself up. And maybe dropping the shoulders a touch. Drawing the bottom ribs back into the body. Inhale to reach and lengthen, maybe with a back bend. Exhale, grounding into both feet. 2 more here. Inhale, keep lifting up. Exhale, connecting into your core center. Last breath here, palms might even touch. And then exhale, planting the hands, right leg comes back into 3-legged dog. Any variation you want to take to get into your downward facing dog. Lots of time to get there, lots of options to get there. Downward dog, find that strong support base, so your hands, your feet. Still actively pushing the mat away with your hands. You're not just hanging out in the joints here. We use a bit of strength. And then inhale, left leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot through between the hands for standing space. Just slightly walking the hands forward. You might use your blocks here and then releasing the right leg from your core strength up into the sky. Finding that balance point for your standing foot. Allowing the head to be heavy. You might even give it a little shake, a bit of a release to the neck. And feel how the right toes are searching for the ceiling for another breath here. Exhale, land in your forward fold at the top of the mat. Soft bend in the knees, roll all the way up, arms reach into the sky. Hands to the heart, exhale. A little check-in here with your breath, your energy. Letting everything settle. We're going to take this sequence one more time. I'll give you a few options to add on a bit of spice if you want to go there. Or you might choose to not do certain things, and that's absolutely fine. So starting off with our tree pose, release your arms, shift the weight over into your left foot. Right foot wherever it needs to go to keep you stable, supported. Belly is connected here to deep strength. And again, maybe balancing with a different version of your arms. Or inhale, arms reach up, lengthen up. Exhale, twisting to the right as the arms fly away. Inhale back into center, make yourself long. Exhale over to the other side. Back into center, inhale, right knee comes into the chest. We try and keep the arms lifted here, hugging that back glute. And if you want to add on, maybe extending that leg, maybe pointing the toes. Pausing here for a breath. Nice smooth transition, come forward, warrior 3, or aeroplane with the arms to the side. So warrior 3, the arms would be out straight in front of you for a bit more activation, a bit more strength. Last breath here, keep reaching through that back heel. And then landing in your lunge position, high or low, you choose. Inhale here, palms meet at the top. Exhale, right elbow outside the left thigh for twisted prayer. Inhale to come back up, using the strength of both legs. Exhale, twisting up and over. One more just like this here. Inhale to come up. And then exhale, twisting over, pausing in our twist. Can you hug your thighs together so you're not collapsing into the hips? Can you push the hands in towards one another to bring the chest away from your thigh? Breathing here. Crown of the head reaches into the front of the room. And again, both legs are active here, so you come all the way back. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. We drop the back knee onto the mat. We're going to add on a modified side plank from here. So that front foot steps to the back of the mat. The left arm reaches up towards the sky. So facing the long edge of the mat as you open up. If you want to practice your full side plank, feel free to stack both feet at the back of the mat or crossing the feet. You might even go there and release the left leg away from the floor. You might take a bind off your knee or foot. So any variation that works for you here. Trying to not collapse into the bottom wrist. Give yourself another breath. And then looking down for balance, find your high plank or tabletop position. Maybe taking that Vinyasa Flow to rinse the body, or straight into downward facing dog. Full breath here. Full breath out. Right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And then exhale, step the foot between the hands for your standing splits. Shifting the weight forward, release the left leg to the sky. And this time you might explore wrapping the right hand around your right ankle. Maybe your left hand wraps around the right ankle as well. Or maybe both hands come into prayer in front of your chest, staying stable in your standing splits. Last breath here. Exhale, quietly land in your forward fold, feet hip-width distance apart. Binding either your big toes with your first two fingers or grabbing your ankles or shins. Mini halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. And then exhale to fold down. 3 breaths here. Shoulders, elbows draw to the side. So we try not to dump the shoulders into the neck. We want to keep that lightness, that space. Lifting the sit bones away from the knees. Last breath here. And then exhale, releasing the bind. Knees slightly bend, roll all the way up into standing arms to reach into the sky. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a moment here. We have our last round, our last side, before we take things down a bit. So shifting the weight over into the right foot, tree pose with the left. One more time here. Plugging into the standing foot, that right glute, your core strength. And any arm variation that works for you, if you want to stay in your balance. You're going to come for that flow, reach the arms up, inhale, lengthen through the side body, beautiful. Exhale, turning to the left. Inhale, back into center, finding your drishti, your focus. Exhale, over to the right side. Inhale, back into center, stay tall here, keep the arms lifted. Left knee in towards the chest, still hugging in, drawing that belly in towards the spine. And maybe firing up, lengthening out, pointing the toes. Take a breath here. Warrior 3, leaning forward, kicking that left leg long behind you. If Warrior 3 doesn't work, arms can go somewhere else, giving yourself permission to explore, to adjust. Can you still zip the belly up towards the spine? Breathing into the back of the heart. And then next exhale, step back into your lunge variation. Landing on your feet. Arms reach up, inhale, palms meet. Exhale, left elbow, side to right thigh. Couple more with this. Inhale, come up, using both legs. Exhale, twisting up and up. One more here, inhale. And then exhale, twisting up and over, pausing here for a moment. Maybe the back knee is on the mat for support. You might even gaze down for a bit more balance. Pushing the hands in towards one another. Maybe giving your chest a little bit of extra space. Last cycle of breath here. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Arms reach towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor, back knee drops onto the mat. Side plank variation, the front foot steps to the back of the mat. Right arm opens up towards the sky. And again, if you want to take it further, maybe a full side plank variation. making sure we're not dumping the weight into the bottom rest, so we are supported here. So knuckles of your fingers connect down into the mat. And you might take any variation here, floating the right leg away, taking a bind off your foot or your knee. Just for another breath here. And then looking down, high plank to low plank, last opportunity here. Or straight into your downward facing dog. Full breath here. Full breath out. Left leg up towards the sky. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then step your foot through for your last round of standing splits. Shifting the weight forward to release the right leg. And again, maybe left hand wraps around the left ankle, maybe the right hand as well. Maybe both hands sit in prayer in front of your chest. Just exploring. Sometimes you surprise yourself with what you're capable of. You can always take a step back. Last breath here. Inhaling and out, forward fold at the front of the mat, feet hip-width distance apart. Second round here, if you want to go a bit further, you might bring the palms underneath your feet so the toes sit in your wrist creases. Or you might take your previous bind. Take a mini halfway left, draw the chest forward. And then exhale to fold, softening the upper body. Coming a bit light here around your heels, the back of the legs. Almost as if you shift the weight just slightly forward, letting the head be heavy. Last breath here. And releasing your hands, soften the knees, come all the way up. Inhale, arms reach towards the sky. And this time, exhale, hands land on your lower back, fingers pointing down. Belly is still strong, soften in the knees. Then opening the heart towards the sky here, shoulders draw back, elbows draw towards one another. Breathing into the center of your chest. Maybe lifting the chin towards the sky. Last breath here. And next, inhale back into center. Exhale to release. Yeah. When your feet in the most comfortable distance for yourself. If you had any recent shoulder injuries, you might prefer to simply roll your shoulders around in this next movement. Otherwise, a shoulder release, we take an inhale, lifting the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale to release and drop. Inhale to lift the shoulders all the way up. Exhale to let go. One more here, inhale. Exhale to release. Keeping the shoulders heavy. Let your head be heavy as you drop the chin towards the chest. And slowly roll your way down, massaging the spine as you go. Feeling the whole back body here. Any sensations along the way. And then once you come down there, bend your knees. We're going to come and sit down with the legs out in front of us. Setting up in our Dandasana staff pose. So finding balance here on both sit bones. Imagine there's that wall in front of you and you gently push your feet into that wall. And also drawing the belly in, leaning back a touch as if you have a big pillar of support behind you. So in Dandasana, the whole body is active as we sit here. Letting the energy run from the feet into the back of the legs, up into the side body, the spine, all the way into the crown of the head. In this position, we simply enjoy the breath, the stillness in our body and our mind. And you choose if your hands sit on your legs or beside you. For this next movement, we try to keep this long spine. We want to focus on our core strength here. Take an inhale, right leg comes off the floor. It might just be a millimeter or two. Exhale to release. Other side, inhale, keep your focus, keep your core strength. Exhale to release. Taking it easy, inhale, right leg up. It might just be the intention to lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, left foot comes up. Exhale, release. Adding on for our final round. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, draw to the side. Inhale, back into center. Exhale, softly drop it down. We start shaking. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale to open. Inhale, back. Exhale, release. Keeping that long spine, arms reach out. Can you keep the bottom ribs in the body? Then leaning forward for a seated forward fold, maybe taking a bind, rounding the spine here, dropping the hip. And just explore here for yourself if you want to point your toes or flex the ankles, wherever the stretch needs to go in your body. Maybe shaking the head no and shaking the head yes. Couple more breaths here. And keeping the chin towards the chest, roll yourself back up. Arms reach towards the sky, coming through our Dandasana. And then exhale, hands behind you, sitting under your shoulders, fingers pointing towards you. We're going to point the toes away from us, sliding shoulders back and down so you're not collapsing the chest. We're still upright here. From here, first variation is to simply bring the heart towards the sky, opening the chest. Second variation, feet on the floor, knees would be bent, lifting the hips as you draw the heart towards the sky. Third variation, working with long legs here, bring the toes towards the mat. Pausing here for 2 more breaths. Rolling the shoulders open. Last deep breath here. And then slowly making your way back down. As soon as you land, bring the right foot onto the floor, right knee is bent. Left leg stays long, so still pushing that foot into the imaginary wall in front of you. Right hand to the back, left arm lengthens up, inhale. And then hooking that elbow outside your knee or thigh for a twist. Each inhale, think space and length, lifting the crown of the head. Each exhale, maybe deepening the twist ever so slightly. Trying to keep the head lifted right on top of the shoulders. Trying to keep that front foot active so the toes are still sparked up. And then inhale to gaze forward, exhale to come out of the twist, right knee falls to the side. Bring the foot to the inner edge of your left thigh. And you might also take a block underneath your knee here if it's a bit tight in your hip flexors. Chest stays centered. Arms reach up on an inhale. And then leaning forward with a long spine to start with. Then maybe taking a bind or dropping the hands to the side of your leg. Trying here to keep both sit bones connected down into the mat. So you get that release into the lower back all the way up into the shoulders. Last deep breath here. And then exhale out to stay. Inhale to roll yourself back up. And then we swap legs, right leg long, left foot onto the floor. Left hand to the back behind you, right arm reaches, inhale. And then exhale, twisting up and over. Keeping that front foot active. Can you sit upright here so you're not leaning back into space, but chest sits right on top of the hips. Allowing the face to soften. Maybe the shoulders to drop a little bit. And then inhale, gazing forward. Exhale to come out of the twist. Left knee forward to the side. Maybe with a block underneath your knee. Arms reach up. Inhale. Draw your bottom ribs in before you lean up and over. Going for a bind or dropping the hands onto the floor. Last few breaths here. Next inhale, roll all the way back up. Exhale, both legs long in front of you. Last variation here. You choose if toes are pointed or ankles are flexed. Arms reach up. Here again, we keep that long spine. And then rolling yourself back, so pushing the lower back into the floor as the arms reach forward. This is a bit tricky, can come onto your forearms and then land yourself down. We're not getting comfortable just yet. Inhale, reach the arms up behind you. And then exhale, arms reach up all the way forward as you lift the shoulder blades off the floor. This might be where you grab your thighs and then roll yourself back up. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, rounding the spine, pushing the thighs together as if you create one big yoga leg here. And then rolling down. We do 2 more rounds. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, push the belly in as you reach forward. Maybe grab your thighs or your mat. Come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, push, 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 push that belly in. Last round here. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, arms come up, forward. Keep pushing the belly in. Create that one giant yoga leg. And then inhale, arms up. This time we land all the way down, landing with control. And once the head drops, take that full body stretch. Big breath in here. Exhale to release. You might hug in the knees for a moment. Maybe taking a bit of a windshield wiper, drawing knees from side to side. And we're going to finish here with a gentle inversion, which is our bridge pose. So when you're ready, plant your feet onto the mat, knees point to the sky. Arms rest beside the body, palms facing down. Allow yourself to land here on your whole back body, bringing length into the back of the neck, letting the shoulders relax, and the belly button drops down towards earth. Feel your fingers and toes slightly spreading out. Bless you. Then on an inhale, slowly lift the hips away from the mat. Using your glute strength here, so imagine you hug a block between your thighs. You try not to lose that imaginary block. We just hold our bridge pose right here. If you have quite an open back bend, you might shimmy the shoulders together underneath your body. You might even interlace the fingers. Or you might even stand up on your toes, lifting the heels away to use a bit more activation in the back of the legs. Whichever version you choose right now, allow yourself 3 deep breaths here, flushing the body with your breath. Filling up the belly. Maybe even releasing a sigh. And when you've done your 3 rounds, safely coming all the way down, step by step landing on your mat. And just pause here for a moment, letting everything settle. And you might choose to finish here with a happy baby, letting the soles of your feet face towards the ceiling. You might take another gentle twist, drawing the knees or legs from side to side. And just checking in here with your body if there's any other movement that you would like to take before we come into our Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, finding your most comfortable resting position. Placing yourself in such a way that you don't feel the need to move. Just taking your time to connect back to your breath. Feeling your breath. And everything else simply drops away. The movement, the shapes and poses, the effort. Giving space to simply being here, present in the moment. To enjoy your breath. To enjoy rest for your body and your mind. Beginning here to invite your awareness back towards your body, your chest and belly. Just connecting to the movement your breath creates, the rising and falling. Feeling your breath. And in your own time, you might add in some smaller movements in your fingers and toes. Maybe releasing your head or jaw a bit from side to side. And bring your feet together. Slowly reach the arms out behind you, taking a full body stretch here with a deep, long breath. Releasing a sigh, exhale. Maybe hugging in the knees or rolling over to your preferred side. And still noticing your breath here as you make your way into a comfortable seat for us to finish. Pausing here, checking in. Hope there's something in your practice today that you can take with you into the rest of your day, rest of the week. It might be a bit of stillness, a bit of kindness towards yourself and others, or simply enjoying your breath. We're going to finish here and then invite you to place both hands on top of your heart, feeling your heartbeat, your breath. And remembering this moment here is always accessible for you anytime you need it, to check in, to reset. Take a big breath here, lifting the heart up into your hands. Exhaling all the way out with a bow of gratitude. Namaste. Thank you all for showing up. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks, Jenny. All the best in Auckland. See you.